sounds familiar. Yeah.
I honestly didn't even want to rap on this.
Used to run through the money, now I'm too old. Man, I'm just playing. Shot when I land. Promoter paid for 6 flights, got the team right. I just told Mr. Band, came in for the bands. Beachside Villa for aesthetic, just because and I don't even like the sand. Stan Smith sneakers on the beach, that's the water. I just came in for the tan. This was always planned, you wouldn't understand. I could turn a Chevy to a Cullinan. I could turn a Rolls to an AP. I came from Sorry Sir to come again. I came from 2 screens to HD. Tell her why you mad for. Go on, tell her why you mad for. No new friends, I couldn't catch a win until I cut off the loose ends. Used to whip the under in the trunk at 210s. Just like that too. Out the speakers was max B. Couldn't say a thing about the way if you asked me. Never caught the chain, I was always trying to gain green. Ride around with my sexy love in the passenger seat. Tell her why you mad for. Go on, tell her why you mad for. Go ahead and just give me a reason not to change on you once I give me a minute. I got checks in Hamburg, I might fly out this evening. I got checks in Moscow, I'll be back in a weekend. If it wasn't for COVID, I'd be in Europe touring. Counting cash on the couch is getting kinda boring. Must be talking about kids when you talk driving foreigns. Say I'm lying and I'm telling stories, or you can't. Tell her why you mad for. Go on, tell her why you mad for. Silly. Soft spoken, I can hit the studio and spit till my jaw's broken. For records in the hour, I'm not bragging, it's all boasting. Pen the top 10 and bar for bar and it's all coasting. And it's easy for me, just tell me go and I'm on go, it's no reason for me. Doing features for a feature that's reaching for me. My next show's a mattress store, they been sleeping on me. See they took my style, see they been peeking on me. That's why I'm mad for.
They try to say like, ooh, that's a cute song, that's a cute song. But let me bar for bar real quick, just to wake you up, get you out your seat, just like, you know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, a little reminder. Set a reminder on your phone, wake up at 6 a.m. like me. Go to sleep at 12 like me, and it's still sleep gang. You gotta get your rest, stupid.
What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? It's your boy Tay Biz TV in the building, man. What's going on with everybody today? How you doing tonight? How you doing tonight? We are about to embark on a new case. New case alert tonight. New case alert tonight. All right. Just want to say what up, though, to everybody real quick. Tracy Talks in the building. Saying, hey, y'all. Hey. What up, though? What up, though, with you? You actually here on time. She always apologize for being late. I don't know what it is. I think the notification bell is doing this thing. I don't know if it is or isn't sometimes, but it is what it is, man. I'm glad that you're here tonight. I'm glad that you are here tonight. I'm shout out to everybody that's watching. I'm actually doing something a little bit different too. I'm implementing Twitter X right now. So not only are we on YouTube right now, but we're also on X. All right. So if you're watching me on X, thank you. I just want to thank you. I appreciate it. This is something new. So I'm just trying to do something new, and things of that nature. So y'all bear with me. Chill in the building saying Biz Nation, what up, though? One of the mod of all mods. Tracy Talk, I gotta make you a mod too. KP in the building. What up, though? KP? I'm gonna make Tracy Talks a mod. And KP been rocking with me too. So I'm gonna make him a mod as well. Let's do it, man. Let's do it. I'm handing out wrenches tonight. I'm feeling generous. Let's Let's go. Look, this case right here, man, we about to get into is it's got a lot of things going on. It's got a lot of things going on. I'm not sure if a lot of people are digging into this, man, but this case is very, 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 very interesting. All right. Tracy Toss says, I'm digging into this case. So intriguing. Yes, it is. This is the case about Suzanne Morphew, who was missing on Mother's Day, which was May 10th, I believe, of 2020. All right. And this case right here is definitely something that we're going to dig into. I'm also sharing, if you see it pinned to the chat, I've shared my Barry Morphew case folder. I'm sharing it. It has the affidavit, the full affidavit. It has the indictment, which we will read tonight. It also has like the booking sheet. It also has some motions that's in there as well, that the that the court went over with Mr. Barry Morphew, I believe today or yesterday, because I believe he was extradited yesterday. He arrived in Colorado yesterday, and so he had to go to court, appear before court. There were some motions that went through, a lot of stuff about the media and stuff like that. It's going to be a lot of media coverage on this case. Again, he is pleading not guilty. He is keeping his innocence. So he is innocent until proven guilty. All right. He is innocent until proven guilty. So I just want to make sure that we understand that and that we keep that in mind. Lexi, the law nurse, said happy Wednesday. I appreciate you, Lexi, coming over to your boys' channel and rocking out with me. I appreciate it. Listen, Lexi said the facts of this case are crazy, and the prosecutorial misconduct and screw-ups from the first time he was charged was wild. It really was. It really was. Now they have an attorney by the name of, last name is Kelly, I believe. The first lady, I think her name was Linda Stanley or something like that. She really screwed the pooch. And man, it's crazy how that even came about. I want you all to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. If you are on X and you're seeing this for the first time, come on over to the YouTube channel. Hit the link. Come on over to the YouTube channel. All right, and come on. Tabiz TV is, as you can type search it, or you can or the mods, and one of the mods can go ahead and drop the link to the channel, and things of that nature. You can definitely when people come in, they can definitely subscribe, things of that nature. Lexi the Law Nerd, I appreciate you coming through. She is on X a lot, and I enjoy following her. She has great information, great content on X for sure. I really vibe with what Lexi the Law Nerd is doing. So thank you so much for being a part of Biz Nation. KP said, Biz TV, I feel like all the misconduct in the first trial is going to bite the case in the ass. Yeah, it may, but this time around, though, what's the difference between the first case, the first trial of the Morphew case, and this one? Well, there's a huge difference. The huge difference is they found the body. They found the body September the 22nd, 2023. Okay. They found the body. They now have physical evidence to go with their indictment charge against Barry Morphew. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a difference. See, the first time there was no body, and the first time the FBI, he did a video for the FBI, for people to contact the FBI if they see his wife, and he went through this whole thing. We also have tonight, we're going to go over some body cam footage from May 10th, 2020, the night in question, where the police comes to the scene and they go into Barry Morphew's house and things of that nature. We get a chance to hear their interaction between Barry Morphew and also the police. Okay, so we're going to get into some stuff tonight. All right, we're going to get into some stuff tonight. They do exactly. They do have the body now, so this makes things rather interesting. Rather interesting, because in the first trial, they did not. The first accusation or alleged indictment, alleging murder of the first degree, they did not have a body. They had no physical evidence, but they did try to utilize like his phone records and things like that in order to try to charge this man. However, it wasn't enough. And then on top of that, there was prosecutorial misconduct on the DA side. That didn't help either. So we're going to get into the new. This is a whole new. To me, this feels like a new, fresh indictment, new, fresh case to me. It's so much more now. The BAM evidence, there you go. The BAM evidence, which we will get into, makes him definitely appear 100% guilty to me. Still want to see what comes out in the trial, though. Absolutely, absolutely. Also, I wanted to let me see something real quick here. I wanted to make sure that I had the poll up. I'm not sure if everybody saw the poll, but I had a poll up about what you thought so far. If you thought he was guilty or not guilty, or if you kind of just like in between, undecided, or you just wanted to see what happens in the trial. I think I'm on the side of I'm curious about this trial, man. This trial is going to be something else. And since this trial is going to be basically PT, which is Pacific time, it makes it better for us East Coasters to be able to go ahead and stream this. All right. So hopefully we're going to be doing that as well. I'm definitely going to be streaming the trial as it goes forward, no matter what the time is. I do have a rewatch crew. Shout out to the rewatch crew. Excuse me. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate you. They always send a comment like replay crew replay. I appreciate that so much. And so I'm definitely going to be streaming this trial because I'm very, very interested in this trial. We still got some stuff with Mickey Steins. I'm going to be dropping a video soon with the Mickey Steins, and the prosecution has responded to Mickey Steins as well when it comes to his motion to dismiss the indictment. And so the prosecution, of course, is going against that idea. And so we're going to get into that as well. So I'm still trying to wait for the motion to come to fruition, so that way I can go ahead and snatch it and we can go ahead and drop a video about it. But let's get ready, man. Let's get ready to rumble. Let's go ahead. Let's get into this case right now. We're not going to delay the time no further. Let's go. Yo, this is what we're getting into, man. For those of you who are not familiar with this case, this is the case of a lady by the name of Suzanne Morphew, who went missing on Mother's Day 2020, May 10th, 2020, on Mother's Day. She went missing after taking a bike ride. She is known for taking a bike ride. That's something that she does. That's her jam. Okay. And she went missing. And oddly enough, Mr. Barry Morphew, her husband, had a construction job to do that particular day and went very early. Now, according to some of his employees, he was supposed to leave later in that day, that evening, towards the evening. But instead, he leaves early, arrives around like 5 o'clock in the morning. Okay. And come to find out, Suzanne was not answering her phone. He was texting her a lot, leaving her voicemails, whatever the case may be. And they reported her missing. Okay. Now, one of the things that's very interesting is that Miss Suzanne Morphew was having an affair with a gentleman. And Barry Morphew knew about it, of course. She suspected Barry to have the same thing going on. All right. In the affidavit, if you read it, it's 131 pages, so you might want to take your time. You might want to do this on a Saturday morning when you have nothing to do but drink some coffee and do a nice little read. In the morning, I'm sorry, not in the morning, but in the affidavit, you will see where they had interviewed certain people. One particular person they interviewed was a woman by the name of Morgan Ann Gentile, who we will read over her interview. Okay. And there were some suspicions. There were some things that the special agents had to ask her in an interview. And we're going to go read over that. I snipped a few things from the affidavit so we can read over it and so we can go ahead with it. We also have Barry Morphew's Verizon records. Okay. So again, if you want information, which we're going to go over tonight, if you want any information about this particular case, we have the indictment, the new one, the re-indictment, if you will. We also have the booking sheet. We also have the affidavit and some motions in there as well. All right. The affidavit does show pictures. They're in black and white, though, so they're not distinct, but you will get the idea and the gist of what it is that's going on. The affidavit is very lengthy. There's a lot of people that was interviewed by special agents, Grusing and another special agent as well. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. We're going to go ahead and talk about this right now. We're going to get into this, the news and how they dropped this particular information on us. They gave us information, giving us a recap of this particular case. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it right now. I'm not going to delay the time any further. Let's go.
We begin with a major development in the death of Suzanne Morphew. Her husband, Barry Morphew, charged with her murder again. A grand jury indicting him on a charge of first-degree murder. He was taken into custody in Arizona today.
Appreciate you,
and is
Factual
awaiting extradition to Colorado.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
Morphew
you.
is accused of killing his wife, Suzanne, on Mother's Day 2020. Now, he was first charged with her murder in 2021. Those charges, though, were dropped just days before the trial because of prosecutorial misconduct, which in fact led to the disbarment of the district attorney, Linda Stanley. Now, at that time, Suzanne's body still had not been found. Her remains were found September 2023. Investigators came across them in Moffett, or very near there, during an unrelated search. And an autopsy found a rare mixture of powerful sedatives in her bones, typically used as an animal tranquilizer. I'm glad you're with us to wrap up this busy week. I'm Shannon Ogden. Endeavor 7 is digging through this new indictment, learning more about why prosecutors decided now was the time to move forward with this case once again. Denver 7's Claire Lavazorio in Alamosa tonight with new details.
We're down here in Alamosa, where the district attorney formally announced the first-degree murder charge just a few hours ago, saying the team has done everything they can to take this case to court. It's been more than 5 years since Suzanne Morphew first went missing, and I spoke with one of her close friends who says she hopes this new development will lead to a conviction.
What up, Tat?
A husband once pleading for his missing wife's return
Love you, we miss you, your girls need you.
is charged with her murder for a second time.
Colorado as a whole has never stopped fighting for justice for Suzanne.
Barry Morphew was arrested on Friday in Arizona. He's now waiting to be extradited to Colorado. This comes nearly 2 years after Denver 7 was the only station alongside investigators as they discovered the missing mother's remains just outside of the town of Moffett. And a CBI official confirming with me here on scene. We spoke with her close friend, Tisha Leeway. She hopes this time justice sticks.
Now, I believe that they're not going to let this go. I wouldn't even have cared if it was 5 more years, as long as they get the evidence and get the conviction this time.
New details from the grand jury indictment say Barry was the last known person to see her alive. The documents also reveal Barry told investigators following Suzanne's disappearance that their marriage was the best. Though the indictment alleges Suzanne confided in people that she was unhappy in the marriage in the weeks and months leading to her disappearance and had been having a secret affair with an old acquaintance. During Suzanne's autopsy, an animal tranquilizer known as BAM was found in her bones. The indictment says the chemical mixture requires a prescription and is tightly regulated, making it difficult to obtain. It also claims that Barry was a deer farmer and the only private citizen living in that area of the state that had access to BAM at the time of his wife's disappearance. Friends like Leeway hope that piece of evidence will be the final nail in the coffin for this case.
Court hearings take a long time. We're one step closer, and I think we're a huge step closer, honestly.
We reached out to Barry Morphew's attorney for a response to this indictment. He sent us a statement which says, in part, Barry maintains his innocence. The case has not changed, and the outcome will not either. Morphew is being held on a $3 million cash-only bond. In Alamosa, Claire Lavazorio, Denver 7.
And again, this is the second time Barry Morphew has been charged with the murder of his wife. And as you know, the justice system prohibits so-called double jeopardy. The Fifth Amendment protects people from being tried multiple times for the same crime. So this afternoon, I spoke with attorney Stephen Longo about how a person can be charged twice for the same crime and just how often this happens.
Explain how he can be charged again with the same crime.
Yeah. So effectively, when we think of someone being charged again with the same crime, immediately we think of something like double jeopardy, right? Well, why do we get a redo? And that's because there was effectively no dispositive outcome with the first case, right? It wasn't dismissed by a judge. It was not brought in front of a jury of his peers to invoke his right to a jury trial. Prosecutors had a little misstep with what they disclosed and how they disclosed it. And their expert testimony, which was going to back and present a lot of that evidence, was not going to be allowed by the judge. So what the prosecutors decided at that point was, let's pack it in, dismiss the charges, effectively what we kind of say without prejudice, so they could bring those charges again.
How unusual is this?
I don't think we see it very often, right? It's newsworthy, not just because of the publicity of the case and the nature of the crime itself, but usually when prosecutors bring charges, it's because they are confident that they have the evidence to proceed to trial and secure a conviction.
Yo, burden of proof is always on the prosecution. Always remember that. However, look at this. He says he was the only private citizen in business that had BAM prescriptions in the whole county. That is fact. That is a major piece of this whole thing, of this new indictment. Okay. Now, what is so ironic to me is the fact that they found her body doing something that was unrelated to actually trying to find her. Like, if you ever thought about, like, this had to be ordained to happen. Like this is one of those things where it's like, you can't escape this. And so they found her body and they found BAM, and we're going to get into BAM as well. We're going to get into that a little bit later, but we're going to go into the day of his appearance in the court in Arizona, because he had to waive his rights first before going to Colorado, which is what he did. He didn't want to stay in jail for 30 days in Arizona and then let Colorado pick him up 30 days later. He wanted to go ahead and waive his right to extradition, so that way he could just go ahead to Colorado and appear before court, which is what he did. So let's look at the day before, or the day, I believe, early morning of the Arizona appearance, just to give us a little bit of context on how this came about. All right. So remember, he's been re-indicted, and on top of that, they have physical evidence now because they found her body. Okay. And so we're going to get into the body cam footage of 2020 when Barry Morphew arrived at the scene, okay, of the crime, where her bike was totally dismantled, and he comes off like he is so distraught, man. And I'm telling you, it's a weird vibe, but I want you all to be the judge of character on this. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this video real quick here. This is Barry Morphew appearing in Arizona court for the first time. Let's go.
Good evening, sir. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Barry Morphew, 10/17.
That is the judge, by the way.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like you are here today on a warrant from the state of Colorado, and they have indicated that they want to extradite you back to the state of Colorado. Did you get an opportunity to review that laminated card that was given to you today?
Yes.
Okay. So you have a choice to make here today. You have two options, and we're going to go over what your options are. So first, let's discuss what you're here for. There is, again, a warrant from the state of Colorado. They've indicated they do want to extradite you back to the state of Colorado related to an offense charge of homicide. In this case, you have the option of stating, I am ready to be returned to the state of Colorado. If you were to choose to do that, you would be waiving your rights to any hearings here in Maricopa County. You say, I'm ready for Colorado to come pick me up. If you choose to do that, you would be held here in the Maricopa County jails, non-bondable, for up to 30 days, giving Colorado 30 days to come pick you up. That 30 days would start tomorrow, so long as you do not have any local pending charges here in the state of Arizona. In the alternative, I could set a hearing here in Maricopa County on June 30th, 2025 at 1:30 in the afternoon. In this case, you would be stating you want to have an extradition hearing, and before you're extradited back to Colorado, you're demanding that both governors, the governor of Arizona and the governor of Colorado, sign a warrant requiring you to be extradited back to Colorado before you do that. That process takes about 60 to 90 days. That hearing that I would set here in Arizona is civil in nature, meaning you would not be entitled to court-appointed counsel, but you could hire an attorney at your own expense if you would like to for that hearing. If you were to choose that option, you are eligible for bond. In this case, you have a cash-only bond of $3 million. If you posted that bond, you'd have written conditions of release you'd need to comply with. You would also need to ensure you attended that hearing on June 30th. If you failed to appear at that hearing, you would now have a warrant out of Maricopa County. Your Colorado warrant would still be valid, and you would forfeit the bond that you posted. Based on that information, do you know what option you would like to do here today, sir?
I'd like to waive.
You'd like to waive your rights here today and go ahead and say you're ready for Colorado to pick you up? Okay. Since we are waiving some important rights, I'm just going to go ahead and ask you some important questions before we do that, and then we will get some of your signatures, okay? So again, I just want to confirm you did read the waiver of extradition paperwork, which was that laminated card?
Yes.
Okay. And you do understand that you do not have to sign this paperwork?
Yes.
And you do understand that you have the right to an extradition hearing? That would be that hearing on June 30th?
Yes.
And do you understand that you have the right to hire a lawyer at your own expense?
Yes.
And do you understand you have the right to demand that a governor's warrant be signed by both governors of each state before you're returned?
Yes.
And do you understand that you would have a right to bail, in this case, a cash bond of $3 million?
Yes.
And do you...
I'm sorry, y'all, but his yeses is real meek and lowly, ain't they? Just saying, he got some real humble yeses going on right now, man. Yes. Do you realize you're gonna have a $3 million? Yes. Like, he is real meek and lowly right now, dog.
You want to give up those rights and sign this paperwork?
Yes.
And has anyone threatened you or promised you anything to get you to sign this paperwork?
No.
And have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication within the last 24 hours?
No.
I find that you are knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily signing this waiver, and I am also going to sign it. I am directing the sheriff's office to notify the requesting state that you are ready to return. The requesting state will have 30 days from tomorrow to pick you up unless you have local charges pending. If you have local charges pending, then the 30 days will not start until the conclusion of that case. Did you have any questions there?
No.
Okay. In just one moment, we are going to ask you to step up here. We're going to need a couple of signatures from you to indicate you are waiving those rights.
All right, that's before he gets extradited to Colorado. Yo, this is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. So he has a $3 million cash only bond on him right now. All right. $3 million cash only bond. This is crazy work. Absolute crazy work. Now, the nature of the amount of the bond, first of all, this is the second indictment. Secondly, the man got money. According to what I've been researching here, the boy got some bread. He got some assets. He got some things that he can liquidate. And if he wanted to, like, he got some stuff, you know. As a matter of fact, in this affidavit, you will find where he liquidated some of Suzanne Morphew's assets shortly after she was missing. She was missing May 10th. And then around June 1st, early June, he starts to liquidate her assets. This, y'all should read the affidavit, man. It got some stuff in there that's like, what's really going on here? All right. So let's get into the indictment. If you're ready for this indictment, man, put a 1 in the chat. And he sold his house for over $1.2 million. Exactly, Lexi. See, that's important. That's important. So the people try to figure out how do they come up with the number for bond. This is what it is. This is what it is. They calculate and they consider all of your income. All of your income. All right. So here we are with the indictment here. And if you haven't done so, please like, share. All right. Like and share. Subscribe to Tay-Biz TV, man. We are doing our thing. Look, I went through recently a situation with YouTube where they have demonetized the channel again for some crazy reason. I gave them my appeal. I showed them how I edit videos. I showed them the content that I use. I showed them what this channel is about, and they still said you got to wait 30 days or 90 days or whatever the case may be. So your likes are very much welcomed. Okay. And so I would love if you all like this video, like this live, and also share this live, because we want to share this for the simple fact that we have another case here that we need to talk about. We have another case that we need to unpack. All right. So let me go ahead and drop the banner real quick, and let's get into this indictment of the grand jury against Barry Morphew. All right. And so this here is the charge. There's only one count. Murder in the first degree. Premeditated murder is murder in the first degree. All right. Murder in the first degree. Ann E. Kelly, District Attorney of the 12th Judicial District of the state of Colorado, in the name and by the authority of the people of the state of Colorado, informs the court of the following offense committed or triable in the 12th Judicial District of Colorado. Count 1, murder in the first degree. This is interesting. Starfish, what up, though? Starfish in the building. Hey, yo, good to see you, Izzy. Can I just say, Izzy? Good to see you, Izzy, in the building. Saying it's so good to be here too. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad everybody put Izzy in the chat, or put Murangu in the chat if you want to. I am excited because I think we crossed paths again in MTR's chat. So okay, Izzy is perfect. So put Izzy in the chat. Let's go ahead and welcome Izzy in the building. We was in the MTR chat, and she noticed me from being in AV's chat, where we went through the Karen Reed trial together. We all went through it together. Okay, we all went through that thing together, man. So shout out to Izzy real quick. Yes, please give her some love. All right. So on or about May 9th to May 10th, 2020, in or triable in the state of Colorado, Barry Morphew unlawfully, feloniously, after deliberation and with the intent to cause the death of a person other than himself, caused the death of Suzanne Morphew in violation of section 18-3-102. Now, this right here is the probable cause for count 1 is as follows. So let's take a look at this. At 5:46 p.m. on May 10th, Mother's Day, Sunday, Suzanne Morphew was reported missing to police by her neighbor. The last known person to see her alive was her husband, Barry Morphew. Investigators responded to the Morphew residence at 19057 Puma Path near Salida, Colorado, to investigate the missing person report. The house was locked and Suzanne Morphew was not home. Her vehicle was in the garage. Her redacted vehicle was in the garage. There was no signs of forced entry, and her bike was missing. Later that evening, her bike was located down a hillside off a dirt road between her house and Highway 50. The bike was located less than a mile from the Morphew home. On May 14, 2020, her bike helmet was located 10 meters off the side of Highway 50, approximately 1.52 miles west of the Morphew home and approximately 0.84 miles west of where her bike was located. Okay. Barry Morphew was interviewed and told police that he set his alarm and woke up at 4:30 in the morning. All right. On May 10th, 2020. Now, this is Mother's Day. Okay. They're not going out to celebrate. They're not going out for dinner. They're not doing any of the normal things that a husband and wife would do that has children. They would normally go out to celebrate Mother's Day. First of all, Mother's Day is probably the most celebrated holiday outside of Christmas. I think it's Christmas, then Mother's Day. Okay. All right. And let me tell you something. He said that his marriage was great. He said that his marriage was good. And I'm just trying to figure out why you're not taking your wife out for Mother's Day. Why the kids, the daughters, are not going out for Mother's Day with her. Instead, she went for a bike ride. That's very, very telling. All right. That's very telling. If the prosecution didn't do prosecutorial misconduct the first time, they probably could have pinpointed this out during a trial, but because they screwed the pooch, we'll never know. Okay, we'll never know. But from that trial, but anyway, we're gonna find out now. He told the police that he left at 5 a.m. on May 10th, 2020, for a pre-planned work trip in Broomfield, Colorado. According to Barry Morphew, Suzanne Morphew was still asleep in bed when he left the house at 5 o'clock in the morning on May 10th. He told police she planned to ride her bike that day. Barry Morphew stated that upon arriving in Broomfield that morning, he checked into a hotel before leaving shortly after for the job site. He told police that he received a call around 5 p.m. on Mother's Day from his neighbors while physically at the Broomfield job site. The neighbors told Barry Morphew that his daughters were concerned because they could not reach Suzanne all day. Barry instructed the neighbors to check the house and specifically to look for her bike. The neighbors reported to Barry that neither Suzanne nor the bike were at the house, and Barry then instructed them to call the sheriff. Police interviewed one of Barry's employees scheduled to assist him with the Broomfield job. The employee told law enforcement that the employee and Barry were not planning to leave for Broomfield until the evening hours of May 10th, 2020. They were supposed to drive together. Instead, Barry left without even telling him. Okay? Left without him. All right? Barry called the employee at approximately 11:18 a.m. and informed that employee that he had left without him. When the employee arrived in Broomfield on Sunday evening, the employee noticed that Barry Morphew had failed to bring the proper tools, this is another key piece, with him for the job, and the necessary materials for the job had not yet arrived at the site. So why were you going so early in the first place? Everything about that is suspicious, right? If you think this is suspicious so far, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you think it's suspicious so far. How in the world is this happening, right? Review of the cameras at the hotel and nearby business revealed that Barry Morphew was in the Broomfield area for approximately 9 hours and 45 minutes. Of those hours, he spent less than 1/2 hour at the job site. Instead, besides 2 brief visits to the job site area, electronic evidence and cameras from businesses showed him driving around to various locations and discarding unknown items in separate trash cans. That's a fact. If you look at the affidavit, again, you all have access to this. All you got to do is click the link in the chat. I pinned it, so click it. You will get access to the affidavit. You will see photos in that affidavit of him doing things suspicious, very suspiciously. Okay. Hotel footage even showed Barry Morphew arriving back at his hotel room and remaining inside the room from approximately 12:34 p.m. to 5:55 p.m. Inconsistent with his statement to the police. This is where the inconsistent statements come into play. Remember, Woody had some inconsistent statements, and what did the prosecution try to do? They tried to impeach him on the stand. Okay, that's what they do. That's what they do. If you have inconsistent statements with the police, and then it's a part of the evidence, they will try to impeach you, and they're well within their right to do that because basically they want to prove that you lied. All right. It was inconsistent statement with the police. He was in the hotel and not at the job site when he received the call about his wife, Suzanne Morphew, being unresponsive and missing. In early interviews with Barry Morphew, he told law enforcement that his marriage to Suzanne Morphew was the best and that the two had a wonderful weekend together. Shout out to D Pill in the building. Everybody put D Pill in the chat. I miss you, girl. I appreciate you. Shout out to D Pill in the building. Everybody show love. She is a supporter of the channel. There have been plenty of times where D Pill has shown me love, gave me Cash App, and just to say, hey, thinking about you, hope you're doing well, whatever. Especially at the time when I was sick. I was sick for a while, for like a week or so, and around Easter, and it was really bad. And she just, man, she showed love. So I thank you so much, D Pill. I appreciate you. In early interviews with Barry Morphew, he told law enforcement that his marriage was the best and that he had a wonderful weekend with it, right? When Barry was asked whether Suzanne would say anything different about their relationship, Barry stated no. Barry Morphew's statements about his marriage to Suzanne were inconsistent with other witness accounts and evidence located. We are going to actually look at evidence of that day. Again, I have the body cam footage of May 10th, 2020. There, in that body cam footage, there's a young man who talks about the fact that their marriage was not good. So Barry is saying his marriage was the best, and another young gentleman is like, yo, this is not, it really wasn't popping like that. Now, why is that important? That's important because if you know your wife is having an affair with a person that they've been knowing for a long time, and he lives far away, you have motive. There's a motive. All right. And so motive is very important when it comes to murder of the first degree. So him talking about his marriage as if it's in the Disneyland of marriages is false. All right. It's inconsistent with the reality of what was going on. So he's basically embellishing, lying about his marriage. And Suzanne, and he knows Suzanne is not here to say anything. So I can say this with like emphatically say this. All right. All right. So when Barry was asked whether Suzanne would say anything different about the relationship, Barry stated no. Disneyland of marriages. Yeah, that was off the top. That was off the top. Disneyland of marriages. All right. All right. Barry Morphew's statements about his marriage to Suzanne were inconsistent with other witness accounts and evidence located. Specifically, investigators learned that Suzanne confided in people that she was unhappy in the marriage in the weeks and months leading to her disappearance. She discussed plans to divorce Barry Morphew with her close friend. She maintained documented notes of problems in the see, the girl was about her business, okay? She wrote down issues that was going on, right? Problems in the relationship, recovered from electronic devices, and the physical search of the Morphew home. Suzanne Morphew had been having a secret affair with an old acquaintance who lived out of state. She communicated with him daily over LinkedIn and WhatsApp. Now, those of you that don't know, WhatsApp is one of those apps where you can just text and it's like, it's real private and all this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? All you sneaky folks use WhatsApp. You know what I'm saying? All you, you know what I'm saying? Them little sneaky links y'all be trying to do on the WhatsApp. Now, some people actually use it for good intent. So I'm not saying everybody is like that. But you know, when somebody say, "Hey man, what's your WhatsApp?" You know what they're trying to get you on the private tip. You feel me? Suzanne's last known electronic message to anyone was to this person on May 9, 2020 at 2:11 p.m., just 30 minutes before Barry Morphew returned to the home that day. An overall timeline of the week of Suzanne Morphew's disappearance shows that the disappearance coincided with her daughter, redacted, the only other occupant of the Morphew residence, leaving on a pre-planned road trip out of state. Road trip out of state. What was that? There was a movie. Real quick. There was a movie. I hope somebody can help me out real quick. Where, as a matter of fact, it was I believe it was Paradise, the TV show Paradise, where they was trying to find out who no, it was something where the daughter ended up killing someone. Everybody thought it was somebody else, but it was really the daughter. I'm gonna come back to that. I think it was Paradise. I think it was TV show Paradise, perhaps. Yeah, because I think they found the iPad that dropped at the bottom of the ground that the president had access to, and I think it was something going on where they was looking for the killer, but it wasn't who they thought it was. Somebody fact check me real quick on that. But anyway, let's go back. I'm sorry. I had a thought in my head. Let's go back. An overall timeline of the week of Suzanne's disappearance shows that the disappearance coincided with her daughter, redacted, the other occupant of the residence, leaving on a pre-planned trip out of state. Because of this, Suzanne Morphew and Barry Morphew expected to be alone at the residence starting on May 5th, 2020, until either late in the day on May 10th or into May 11th, 2020. Suzanne Morphew drove, redacted, to Gunnison, Colorado on May 5th, 2020 to depart with her sister and friend on the planned road trip. After May 5th, 2020, Barry Morphew and Suzanne Morphew were alone at the house. A forensic download of Barry Morphew's cell phone revealed that Barry Morphew had deleted a text chain with Suzanne Morphew from which an image of a single text remained. A screenshot of this single text message was saved on Barry Morphew's phone May 6, 2020. That image revealed a text from Suzanne that stated, "I'm done. I could care less what you're up to and have been for years. We just need to figure this out civilly." Now, let me tell you something about divorces, okay? Divorces can get really ugly. Divorces can get really, really ugly. And you really have to, it takes one person to try to get this breakup to be done civilly. Now, when you accumulate a lot of things, assets, properties, and all these type of things, trust funds, whatever you got going on, when you have a lot of stuff like this, it's a very strenuous process on your divorce. If you don't have a prenuptial agreement, this is the reason why. And prenuptial agreements doesn't necessarily mean that you plan to break up. Prenuptial agreements can be more than just in case of a breakup. It could be based on what you expect in your marriage while you're married to somebody. Okay. And if this particular thing that you placed in your prenuptial agreement has not been executed consistently, then your spouse has the right to be able to sue sometimes, or to be able to call to order what it is that you promised that you would put or that you would do when it comes to this prenuptial agreement. So it doesn't always mean in case of a split. It could be while you're together that you can create a prenuptial agreement, but that's between the two parties. So in a divorce, it's always so, especially when it's ugly. Like this guy seems to have allegedly, he seems to have a very jealous, controlling type of behavior. This is what's being portrayed. And so for her to be able to do this affair and also talk big about it, talk big on the fact that I don't really care about this marriage at all, whatever, you can act like it's all great, but I know it's not. That lets me know that this been over for a long time. When she said have been for years, I don't care about what this marriage. I could care less what you're up to, and I've been not caring for years. So that lets you know right there that she was already out the door. Sometimes people check out. They check all the way out, and it's just, it ain't what it is. Presumed innocent. Thank you. I think you might be recalling Presumed Innocent. In that movie, actually was the daughter against everyone's suspicion. Right. Presumed innocent. That's what it is. It was a daughter, and no one expected that. Yep. Thank you, Izzy. I appreciate you. On May 11th, 2020, authorities commenced a search of the Morphew residence that spanned several days. The state of the residence and vehicles showed no signs of break-in or intruder. Even with no signs of a break-in or intruder, law enforcement collected items of potential evidence and DNA swabs. DNA analysis of the swabs collected produced several DNA profile mixtures consistent with what would be expected in the common areas of a home or a vehicle. The mixture profiles were processed through offender databases and were compared to the profiles of known individuals who may have been present in the vehicles or the residence. The results did not lead to any stranger or intruder suspects. So this is the same thing that we found out with the Karen Reed case, where the DNA in her vehicle, and there was some DNA profiles that matched John O'Keefe, but not exactly. It could have been someone that was related to John O'Keefe, like his niece and nephew, right? And so they found those type of profiles. So this is kind of similar to that. An expert in DNA analysis testified the law enforcement provided analysts with one of the partial profiles developed from the glove box of Suzanne Morphew's vehicle for further investigation using a keyboard search. This allowed for additional comparisons to profiles in more databases with less stringent quality control standards that the National DNA Index System, for the limited purpose of creating possible investigative leads. That expert further testified that there were matches to outside databases nationwide. The term match used by DNA analysts does not mean identical. See, there you go. Rather, a match only means that there were other profiles that could not be excluded at the limited number of loci available from the partial profile for comparison. I think that kind of cut off a little bit. The expert explained that she then compared the matches from those databases to the partial profile from the mixture of the glove box and excluded those out-of-state profiles as not originating from the same contributor in all but 3 instances. Finally, the expert explained that just because the profiles from the database, from those databases match, at the limited loci available for comparison, it did not mean that any of the people from the out-of-state profiles were the same person that contributed the partial profile to the mixture on the glove box. Law enforcement investigated those 3 partial matches obtained from 3 separate out-of-state sources and found no connection to the case. Law enforcement located a locked gun safe in the garage during the search of Morphew residence. Inside that gun safe, law enforcement located a dart rifle or tranquilizer rifle positioned toward the front of the safe. Law enforcement also found packages of New Dart brand tranquilizer darts in the gun safe. The packages of darts included capped hypodermic needles inside them, which were designed to load the darts. Here we go. Law enforcement found one of these needles caps in the dryer after the dryer's contents were removed. Okay. Law enforcement also found men's shorts among the contents of the dryer that were removed prior to finding the needle cap. The shorts appeared consistent with the shorts Barry Morphew was seen on video wearing on May 9th, 2020, less than 1 hour before he returned to the Morphew residence. No tranquilizer formula was located during law enforcement's search of the home and vehicles. We're right here. Police investigated numerous electronic devices and Suzanne Morphew's social media accounts, searching, among other things, for proof of life. That investigation revealed that Suzanne Morphew had not communicated electronically with any living person after 2:11 p.m. on May 9th, 2020. Here we go. So it's May 9th, the day before Mother's Day. After 2:11 p.m., there is no activity. There's no way she's communicating with anyone. Her last possible activity on any account protected by password access was 3:08 p.m., over 24 hours prior to her being reported missing. Records showing her typical use of electronics and social media demonstrated that this was inconsistent with her typical pattern of life in the days leading up to her disappearance. Additionally, witnesses indicated they attempted to communicate with Suzanne Morphew throughout this time frame, but received no response from her. These witnesses indicated that her lack of response was out of the ordinary. So all these things matter, pattern and what a person does routinely. All these things matter. And when you do something abrupt that you normally wouldn't do, it leaves cause for suspicion. Barry Morphew's electronic devices were also analyzed. A download of the infotainment system. Here we go, infotainment. Everybody put infotainment in the chat. A download of the infotainment system on Barry Morphew's truck recovered telematics data showing the location and activity of his truck at certain times on May 9th and May 10th. A download of Barry's cell phone showed additional location information. Based on data from his cell phone, Barry Morphew returned to the Morphew residence at 2:43 p.m. May 9th, 2020. Okay. This data did not show his phone or truck leaving the residence again until the morning of May 10th, 2020. Now, I believe in the affidavit, you will see that, which I did clip a little bit of the affidavit for us to look over with his phone records. I believe we will see something where he puts his phone on airplane mode at a certain time. Keep that in mind. We're going to get into that. The download of Barry Morphew's cell phone registered events related to his phone. An expert forensic analyst determined that some of these events were in fact Barry Morphew's phone being turned off during, I just said it, during the time frame of May 9th into May 10th. Turning off a cellular device effectively disables its ability to record location information. Specifically, the forensic analyst noted that Barry's phone download showed it was turned off from 2:47 p.m. Turned off at 2:47 p.m. on May 9th, 2020, only a few minutes after he arrived home at the residence where Suzanne Morphew sent her last electronic communication to anyone. Wow. At approximately 10:17 p.m. on May 9th, 2020, the phone was turned back on. I believe that's the airplane mode. Barry Morphew's cell phone was again turned off at 4:32 a.m. May 10th, 2020. Okay. Prior to him leaving the residence to go to this trip in Broomfield, and was not turned on again until 5:37 a.m. when location information showed him on the road already in the area of Johnson Village, Colorado. Testimony established that the times Barry Morphew turned off his phone corresponded to period of time of significance in the case where location information was consequently unavailable. Similarly, further analysis of the information from Barry Morphew's infotainment system, the telematics, in his truck showed an irregular gap in recorded activities, specifically from approximately 3:49 a.m. to approximately 8:10 a.m. on May 10th, 2020. There is no recorded data registering on Barry's infotainment system, an indication of no truck activity from telematics is consistent with other facts developed from Barry's phone, surveillance footage, and Barry's statements about his activities on May 10th. Specifically, telematics data showed Barry Morphew arrived at his residence at 2:43 p.m. May 9th, 2020. It then registered various other activities throughout the afternoon at the residence until it ceased at 9:52 p.m. on May 9th, 2020. The telematics data then showed activities resumed from 3:25 a.m. to 3:49 a.m. on May 10th, 2020 at a GPS location consistent with his driveway. The man is not even realizing that turning off your phone, but you driving in your car at the same time, your car is still going to pick up GPS data. Which means you're the driver of the vehicle, which means that you're still where you're at. So the telematics will show you where you're at because it's going to ping every cell phone tower in that area. Okay. Jeez, oh Pete. Barry Morphew reported to law enforcement that he was asleep during that time from 3:49 a.m. to 8:10 a.m. on May 10th, 2020. The infotainment system or telematics did not register any data, despite the fact that Barry Morphew's cell phone indicated the device was in Johnson's Village at 5:37 a.m. on that date, and Barry reported being in his truck traveling to Broomfield at that time. That he already caught the lie. When recorded telematics data became available again in the records from the infotainment system download at 8:10 a.m. On May 10th, 2020, corresponding GPS coordinates showed that Barry Morphew had already arrived in the area of Broomfield. This gap in registered data is inconsistent with the pattern of telematics data captured in the days and weeks leading up to this event. I was asleep on the road. Yeah, I bet. Phone records both show Suzanne Morphew and Barry Morphew were analyzed by expert investigators. The FBI CAST team analyzed phone records for both Barry and Suzanne Morphew to determine location information and device usage related to their cell phones. In Suzanne's phone records, there was no indication of any user-initiated activity after the time Barry Morphew returned home at 2:43 p.m. on May 9th, 2020. No indication of any user-initiated activity. Suzanne Morphew's cell phone device continued to connect through RTT data with the cell tower that services the Morphew home throughout the night of May 9th into the early morning of May 10th, 2020. These automated data connections, however, were consistent with the tower reaching out to the phone to determine its location and initiated by user of the device. After 4:23 a.m. May 10th, 2020, Suzanne's phone ceased to connect at all, ever again. Just 8 minutes later, Barry Morphew's cell phone data showed his phone ceased to connect starting at 4:31 a.m., consistent with the cell phone download showing it powering off at 4:32 a.m. Suzanne Morphew's cell phone never registered on any towers other than the tower consistent with the Morphew residence from the time Barry Morphew returned home around 2:43 p.m. on May 9th, 2020, to the time it ceased activity altogether at 4:23 a.m. the next day, which was Mother's Day of 2020. Despite searches for the device, Suzanne Morphew's cell phone was never found. Police interviewed people that knew Barry prior to his move from Indiana to Colorado in 2018. These witnesses told law enforcement that Barry Morphew was a deer farmer in Indiana. Now, I live here in Indiana now. I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan, and I moved here to Indiana in 2019. Okay, and she was from here as well. All right, Suzanne was originally from here, I believe. Several individuals told law enforcement that Barry Morphew used a specific tranquilizer called BAM to sedate and transport deer on his deer farm. Barry Morphew admitted to using BAM in both Indiana and Colorado. Specifically, he admitted to using BAM in Colorado as recently as April of 2020, stating that at the time he had tranquilized a deer from the breezeway of the Morphew residence. Here we go. The infamous BAM. On September 22nd, 2023, human remains were found in and around a shallow clandestine grave. And I want to say Saguache County, Colorado, near Highway 17. The remains were found a few hundred feet down a dirt road off Highway 17. This location was less than an hour south of the Morphew residence, oh my Lord, by main highways. The remains were determined to be those of Suzanne Morphew. The majority of her bones were recovered. Many of the bones were significantly bleached. Along with Suzanne's bones, law enforcement recovered a cancer port and items of clothing, some of which were consistent with bike clothing Suzanne was known to wear. There was no visible perimortem trauma observed. A board-certified forensic anthropologist, a botanist, and entomologist all analyzed the remains, and several observations were noted. There was a distinct lack of bug activity, which was inconsistent with the remains having decomposed at that location. Wow. There was a distinct lack of bug activity, which was inconsistent with the remains of having decomposed at that location. The clothing item lacked evidence of decomposition, which was inconsistent with Suzanne Morphew wearing the bike clothes at the time of her body decomposed. Additionally, there was a lack of animal predation on the bones. There was only a very small amount of, let's just say, desiccated soft tissue found on a few of the bones, and there was no hair mass located. Jeez, oh Pete. What up, though, Jenny? Shout out to you. I appreciate you coming through. All these features, all these features would have been expected if this had been the original grave site where decomposition occurred. The forensic anthropologist opined that based on these factors, it was unlikely Suzanne decomposed from a fresh body to a skeleton at this location. Wait a minute. Are we reading this correctly? Are they implying that this body was moved? So it was decomposing somewhere else and then it was dumped here? Lord. Am I understanding this correctly? Am I on the right path here? It was moved after. They're suggesting that this lady's body was moved after decomposition, bleached and dumped. So the bones were bleached. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. Wow. The El Paso County Coroner's Office conducted an autopsy. In addition to the standard toxicology testing, the coroner's office conducted additional toxicology testing at the request of law enforcement for the presence of a chemical mixture known as BAM, or the combination of butorphanol, azaperone, and medetomidine or medetomidine. The chief toxicologist tested Suzanne Morphew's bone marrow for the presence of BAM. All three of the individual chemicals that comprise BAM were present. They were present. Additionally, the metabolite for butorphanol was present. The presence of the butorphanol metabolite eliminated the possibility of post-mortem BAM contamination. Look, Starfish say he got the body back from the lions that mauled it in the mountains. That is not a far-fetched thing right there. That is not a far-fetched thing right there. What in the world, man? What in the world, man? Wow. That's not far-fetched, Star. The metabolite's presence also indicated that her death was not immediate following BAM exposure because Suzanne Morphew's body had begun to metabolize the drug before she died. The coroner's office determined cause of death and manner of death as follows: homicide by unspecified means in the setting of butorphanol, azaperone, and medetomidine intoxication. So this was a homicide. They determined that this was a homicide and that the person used this chemical to do it. Okay. A pharmacologist and medical doctor testified about the toxicology testing done to determine the presence of BAM in Suzanne Morphew's remains, about the chemical compound itself, and about the possible effects that compound in humans. The expert explained that the toxicology testing done by the coroner's office met scientific standards of reliability and accuracy. He further testified that BAM is a chemical mixture of 3 specific compounds used as a tool for sedating animals for medical treatment or movement. Back in 2020 and the years leading up to Suzanne Morphew's disappearance, BAM was sold by only one company in the United States and could only be obtained by prescription from a veterinarian. BAM must be administered into the bloodstream through intravenous and intramuscular injection to be effective, as the skin and GI tract do not absorb it effectively. Wow. BAM does not cause sedation instantaneously, but takes several minutes to take effect. BAM is designed not to be used. BAM is designed to be lethal and comes with reversal agents in the prescription kit. However, BAM is not FDA approved for any human use. For that reason, there are no scientific studies available that address the possible effects the compound would have on humans. The pharmacology expert testified that the compound would render the recipient wholly immobile, vulnerable, and unable to resist any constrictions to the recipient's ability to breathe. Wow. Records were obtained for BAM prescriptions related to Barry Morphew. Records were also obtained for BAM prescriptions for all persons within the counties and adjacent counties to where the Morphews lived and where Suzanne Morphew's remains were located. Those records showed that Barry Morphew obtained and filled several prescriptions for BAM while living in Indiana. Barry Morphew's last purchase of BAM by prescription was in March of 2018. Barry obtained multiple kits that each contained multiple doses just a few months before the Morphews moved to Colorado. Records further show that no other private citizens or private businesses in any of the surrounding counties had purchased BAM prescriptions from 2017 to 2020. Colorado Parks and Wildlife and the National Park Service were the only entities that received prescription of BAM in those counties from 2017 through 2020. Investigators learned that each of these government entities enforced tight regulations to monitor the BAM prescriptions, storage, and use. None of the BAM from those agencies was unaccounted for. Ultimately, the prescription records show that when Suzanne Morphew disappeared, only one private citizen living in that entire area of the state had access to BAM, and that was Barry Morphew.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
What is Barry? What is Barry? Now, I hope his last name don't start with an A, because that would be very poetic. Anybody know his middle name? If his name is Barry A. Morphew, his initials are BAM. This is like a movie, okay? This would be like a movie, all right? All offenses against the peace and dignity of the people of the state of Colorado. I, redacted, foreperson of the 12th Judicial District Grand Jury, do hereby swear and affirm that each and every true bill returned in this indictment by the 2024-2025 12th Judicial District Grand Jury was arrived at after deliberation and with the assent and agreement to the existence of probable cause by at least 9 members of the 2024-2025 grand jury. This is where the foreperson signed, and it was notarized as well. Go further down here to defendant information. Okay, Barry Morphew, aka Lee Moore. So his name is Barry Lee Morphew. Man, if it was gonna be an A, I was gonna be, man, I was gonna go crazy. It has here the agency case number here. It has the bond is set at $3 million cash. no leaving the state of Colorado, GPS unit, surrender of passport, compliance with mandatory protective order, extradition, nationwide extradition authorized. So they were authorized to get him. All right. Yo, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. All right. This is absolutely crazy. Let's go into the forward. This is the most Barry, man. What was you thinking? What were you thinking? The fact that the bones were bleached. Like, what was the idea there? You know, they found it in her marrow. They found these chemicals in her marrow. I'm just trying to figure out. So this does not immobilize you immediately, but what it does do, it takes a while, several minutes, right? And since it takes several minutes, and since it takes several minutes, what happened to her body? They only found small parts of sinew on her bones that was utilized to identify her. Of course, the bone marrow themselves also can identify. You can identify somebody with teeth if you just have their teeth left. You know, it doesn't matter. But the fact that the body is decomposing in one place, then you take it and you put it somewhere else. So like your phone, you cutting your phone off, you're going in airplane mode, you're doing all this kind of suspicious stuff. And then you turn it on when you are, arriving at the crib. But throughout this gap of time, the infotainment data is clocking you in certain driving at certain times. What were you thinking? And then in an unrelated search, they find her body in a clandestine grave, shallow grave, like where some of the clothing that's pertaining to bike riding was also found. Lord have mercy, man. KP said they said on Reddit that he paid his attorneys using Suzanne inheritance money. Oh, the man was liquidating her assets. We're gonna get into that. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can pull it up here, because I took some snips. Here. All right. Barry's liquidation of assets. Within a month of Suzanne's disappearance, Barry began to liquidate their assets. All right. So this happened on June 1st, 2020. Barry petitioned for guardianship in Hamilton County, Indiana, of Suzanne for him to act as her guardian. Now, check this out. The man, it hasn't even been a whole month yet. Look at this. This is in the affidavit. Again, I have given access to the Barry Morphew case folder. This is in the affidavit. The filing allowed Barry to sign documents on Suzanne's behalf and sell their residences in Indiana and Colorado. Redacted. File consent for the guardianship. Below are some screenshots of the court documents. There it is. Suzanne Morphew, an adult missing person. Petition for appointment of guardian over Suzanne, of Suzanne Morphew, a missing person. Barry Morphew, petitioner herein, being first duly sworn, petitions this court to appoint a guardian of Suzanne Morphew, and in support of this petition states as follows: name, age, residence, and address of alleged incapacitated person. The alleged incapacitated person is Suzanne Morphew. She's 49 years old. Give the whole nine. resides at 1905 7 Puma Path. Currently, she is missing, having left her residence on Mother's Day, Sunday, May 10th, 2020, and having not been seen since. Nature of disability. Suzanne Morphew is deemed incapacitated under Indiana law because she cannot be located upon reasonable inquiry. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. The need exists for the appointment of a guardian of the alleged incapacitated person, and that she cannot be located upon reasonable inquiry, and property in Hamilton County, Indiana needs to be sold. The man didn't wait 30 days. The man didn't listen. The man didn't even wait 30 days before he started liquidating assets here. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Look at this here, man. It says enter an order waiving notice and hearing. Wherefore your petitioner prays the court to enter an order. Enter an order waiving notice and hearing, finding all necessary consents and waives of notice and hearing have been secured and filed from all interested persons. Adjudicate that Suzanne Morphew is an incapacitated person, finding that a guardian of the estate of Suzanne Morphew needs to be appointed, finding that Barry Morphew, L. Morphew, is a suitable person to serve as the guardian of the estate of Suzanne Morphew, appointing Barry Morphew as the guardian of the estate of Suzanne Morphew. Approve the sale of Hamilton County real estate in the protected person's name, waiving bond, inventory, and accountings, and for all other relief which is proper in the premises. Look at that. June 6, 2020, Barry closed on the 26040 Cal Carson Road, Arcadia, Indiana property with a closing price of $750,000. Your affiant served Bank of the West a search warrant. Your affiant served Bank of the West a search warrant for accounts associated to Barry and Suzanne Morphew for an account of redacted and Barry Morphew redacted. There was a deposit dated February 24th, 2020 for $40,000 from Monex. On June 19th, 2020, there is a check written to Barry Morphew. The signer appears to be redacted in the amount of $30,000. On July 1st, 2020, Kent Townsend told your affiant that that on June 25th, 2020, Barry paid $160,000 for the Lot 8 property at Longhorn Ranch in Salida. Barry sold this back to Townsend on February 17, 2021 for $150,000. July 13th, 2020, Barry initiated a title change for Suzanne's Range Rover, selling it to Troy and Elizabeth Riley of Deputy, Indiana on July 16th, 2020. This guy here is out of bounds. The man is out of bounds. Look at this man cook. Look at the cook he doing. March 3rd, 2021, the recorder's office in Salida informed your affiant that they had just received a special warranty deed that 19057 Puma Path has sold to Mountain Renewal LLC for $1.625 million. Unbelievable. Let's check out these phone records. What do you all thinking so far? like chat, we reading this together, okay? And I'm telling you right now, we reading this together. We going over this thing together. Again, I can't understand How? Okay, okay. Teresa want to see the house. She want to see the crib. All right, she want to see the crib. Let me see here. Hold on. Let me go ahead and let's go ahead and do this right now. We about to do this rat now. Let me send this. Let me send this. See, I love my chat, man. My chat like to go into it. They like me. We like to unpack it all. We like to unpack it all. Let's go ahead and see this real quick. Hold on, y'all. Let's do this right now. We about to get into this right now. All right. Go to the email here real quick. Let's get into this real quick. No. Okay. That's the house right there. 1.376. Look, over $1 million here. Look at this. All right. We got a lot of land going on right here. Look at this. Look at the house. This is the house that got sold. This is the house that got sold. Shout out to Tracy Talks. This is the house that Barry Morphew decided to sell. It's sitting on acres of land, as you can see. It's gated. Okay, see your boy is. I gotta listen. I got an Instagram account called Chef Tay Biz, man. I be trying to cook, man, and that's the kind of kitchen. This the kind of kitchen I want to cook in. You feel what I'm saying? This is the kind of kitchen I want to cook in. Look at this. He sold it for 1.625 million? Beautiful home. Look at that sunroom. It's a chef's kitchen, dog. KP, man. It's a chef's kitchen, dog. Chef's kitchen. What was it? What was the name of that company? Mountain Renewal LLC that he sold it to. I appreciate you, Izzy. I appreciate you. Yeah, my Chef Tay Biz Instagram account. I cook and I take my little photos, man. I'm trying to build me a little portfolio. You know what I'm saying? I be doing some stuff, man. I be doing a little something. You know what I'm saying? Your boy got skills. I ain't gonna lie. Your boy got a little skill, man. I love cooking, man. I think cooking it helps me to focus, to purify. It helps me a lot. Look at this beautiful home. Look at that. You can see up over the banister joint. Look at that. Look at the dining area, man. Bedroom on point. Look at this. This is ridiculous. This is a vacation home. This is a vacation crib. Oh my goodness. For your guests. Look, guest room. You know what I'm saying? Bedroom. KP said I be cooking too. That's what's up, dog. That's what's up. I appreciate you, Izzy. I appreciate you. Look at this. This is the house that he sold. Wow, look at this. Look at that, man. Look at that, dog. This is Barry Morphew, man, is loaded. All right. The man is loaded. Estimated market value is 1.3, we'll say 1.38 million. We'll just round it up. We round it up. Look at this, man. This guy here. This guy here was out of control. This guy here out of control, man. Over some odd millions of dollars that he got in his bank account. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. His phone records. We want to get back into that. Shout out to Tracy Talks again for giving us that crib. This man was liquidating everything. You hear me? He was liquidating everything, man. The man wasn't playing. He said, she gone. I'm about to get my stuff. I'm about to get some stuff. I want to see something real quick here. Let's check this out real quick. Look at this real quick. Now, this is the phone records. This is Barry Verizon records here that we want to look at. So this is the cellular analysis survey team. This is CAST. And the special agents, Kevin Hoyland, requested that cellular records be obtained for 1 month prior to law enforcement being notified on May 10th. So you want to look at what led up to it here. If you look at this here, it says here from 5:41 p.m. on Friday, May 8th, 2020 through Sunday, May 10th, 2020, all 11 calls between Barry and Suzanne are outgoing from Barry to Suzanne. Interesting. Out of 58 voicemails on Barry's phone, none are from Suzanne. Okay, none are from Suzanne. KP, right? He said, if that's the Colorado crib, what does the Colorado house look like if that's the Indiana crib? Exactly, dog. Exactly. This is very interesting. Now, this is in the affidavit. This is in the affidavit. Okay, this is a part of the affidavit that I snipped a little bit here. So Barry deleted numerous calls between himself and Suzanne from May 4th and 5th, 2020. When asked by FBI agents in 2021 why he deleted those calls, he said he did not recall doing so, and he must have been freeing up space on his phone. First of all, you stupid. Barry, you a dummy. Deleting phone calls doesn't free up no space like that, dog. No, if you want to free up space, first of all, you can optimize your space now on your phone. So you don't have to even do as much maintenance as you used to. You could optimize your phone now. But you don't even realize that you're getting caught up in a lie. It's so many inconsistent statements here. It's ridiculous. Okay. What exactly? You deleting your wife's phone calls. It doesn't make any sense at all. It makes no sense. On January 7th, 2020, Barry's phone searched how to make a girl. Okay, I ain't gonna say the word here. You can read it for yourself. Recovered from deleted web searches on Barry's phone. Barry's phone searched older man, younger woman relationships on YouTube. Recovered from deleted web searches on Barry's phone. January the 8th, Barry's phone searched the Facebook help page. I can't reset my Facebook password because I can't access the email or mobile phone number on my account. Help center, that was another thing that he searched that he deleted. January 24th, 2020, Barry's phone searched third base, my first hand job, dear teen diary, 9th grade entry for you. This is ridiculous. This is crazy work here. Now watch this. January 25th, 2020, Barry's phone accessed localsnapsex.com. Find a cute girl near Salida and come get dirty redacted. This dude right here, March 19, 2020, man, at 6:44 a.m. A video on Barry's phone was taken of a prescription drug bottle of Suzanne Morphew for redacted. Redacted. A video on Barry's phone was taken of a prescription drug bottle of Suzanne Morphew for, and then they redacted it. On April 24th, 2020, Suzanne sent Barry the following message that was recovered from deleted images. Oh, I'm sure your mistress has you all happy now, so you can say you love me, but bully me when you're with me. Yeah, that's love. So this whole marriage was not what Barry was saying it was. For the context of examining data from Barry's phone, a comparison of the locations from his Ford F-350 has gathered from the return of the search warrant for telematics, together with the Verizon return from Suzanne's phone per search warrant return, are included by Special Agent Grusin for the dates of May 5th, 2020 through May 10th, 2020. May 6th, Barry called Suzanne 6 consecutive times from 8:06 to 8:13 in the morning before she sent the aforementioned "I am done, let's handle this civilly" message at 10:13. That message was recovered as a deleted image from Barry's phone. Suzanne received 4 messages from Barry which referenced "when I'm dead, going to see my savior, and this life on earth is a mere sick grain of sand compared to eternity." The location activities registered by Barry's phone were abnormally high in frequency during the late nights and early morning hours of May 8th to May 9th, 2020, and May 9th to May 10th, 2020, while at the Morphew residence. May 8th, 7:06 p.m., Barry's phone called Suzanne while his phone was likely traveling west along US 50. Suzanne's phone location was approximately 3 miles east of Barry's phone. The call lasted 73 seconds and was the last recorded phone call for either evidence device on May 8th, 2020. May 8th, 2020 at 7:18, Barry's phone registered its last event of the day. Its next event was 6:46 a.m., May 9th, when Barry's phone registered power on. That's what it seems like. He was following her. That's what it seems like. Okay, here we go. May 9th, 2020 at 6:46 a.m., Barry's phone was taken out of airplane mode. Remember, I said he had it in airplane mode. It was taken out of airplane mode at 6:46 a.m. Your affiant knows that airplane mode is a setting available on smartphones and other portable devices. When activated, this mode suspends the device's signal transmission technologies like Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, effectively disabling all voice, text, and phone services. GPS may or may not be disabled. May 9th, 2020, 7:22 a.m., 7:39 a.m., Barry's phone registered locations at his Tailwinds work site near Poncha Springs. During that time, Suzanne's phone exchanged messages with her friend Sheila Oliver, and Greg Fisher accepted her Facebook friends request at 7:30 in the morning. Suzanne's phone was located at the Morphew residence per cast analysis for the entire day of May 9, 2020. Suzanne's phone was located. You hear that? May 9th, 9:50 a.m. Suzanne's text Barry, "Want to hike?" At 10:36 a.m., Suzanne texts Barry, "Want to meet to hike?" At 10:48 a.m., Barry responded, "No, I'll come home." What? Hold on, man. Now remember, her phone was never recovered, I believe, right? At the finding. At the finding of the body. No phone there, no phone anywhere at any part of where she was at. And so she was texting you, dog. She all this stuff that she said she was done with you and everything. Now all of a sudden she want to hike with you. Come on, bro. Come on, man. This ain't looking good, Barry. Betty bad. This is Betty bad. This is Betty bad. Oh man. Let's see. Let's look at Suzanne's phone records. Let's look at Suzanne's Instagram account. All this good stuff here. Let's see here. Apple Inc. returned records May 28th, 2020. Returned records pursuant to a search warrant for Suzanne's account for email redacted that was associated with the Apple account created on January 16, 2019. This account also listed Suzanne's name, address, and phone number. Apple provides a separate identifier known as a person_ID, which is understood to be unique to an individual subscriber. It's your Apple ID. Let's see here. Per location coordinates received from the search warrant served on Suzanne's Verizon account, Special Agent Grusin determined that she traveled to Florida, staying in various hotels in Naples and Marco Island between January 31st, 2020 and February 16th, 2020. I wonder where she was at. She communicated primarily with Sheila Oliver, Barry, Gene Mormon, and Kurt Sigler. On May 5th, 2020, Suzanne's texts and locations confirmed her trip to Gunnison to drop off Redacted so that Redacted and Redacted could travel together. On May 6th, at 8:44 a.m., Suzanne sent Redacted text, "Good morning, I miss you already." Her next message was Barry at 10:13 a.m. stating, "I am done." This is on May the 6th. This is on May the 6th. This is allegedly 2 to 3 days before she asked him to hike. Sure. Like, come on, man. Come on, dog. Who you think you're playing with, man? Who you think you're playing with, man? May 6, 2020, from 2:43 p.m. to 5 p.m., Barry sent her the unalive text, which he deleted from his self-deletion text. I'm sorry, that which he deleted from his phone. On May 7, 2020, Suzanne sent redacted videos of the cat Lulu from inside the Morphew house and exchanged messages with her. May 7, 2020, 4:43 p.m. Suzanne messaged Barry, "Been studying all afternoon. I'm gonna bike now. I've got veggie soup on for supper." Yeah, she cooking you food too, dog. Oh, okay. Suzanne's notes folder was last backed up, wherein she articulated over 50 grievances against Barry, one of which refers to Barry accusing her on May 6th of having a boyfriend. May 8, 2020 at 8:43 a.m. Suzanne sent Barry the message, "Sorry, I forgot about Rob Mazel last night, but I will continue to do your invoicing when you need to." Right, unless he's texting these messages, she was as toxic. She was just as toxic for exactly. It seems like, look, when you're married, man, and y'all not rocking with each other and y'all still live together, you start feeling like roommates. You start living single. You start operating like you're single. Okay. So when you are going through a divorce, you already checked out mentally. By that time, you don't even care anymore what happens. So all you're trying to do as much as you can to make the other person leave you. Either you are fed up and you leave yourself, or you do something diabolical to get the other person to leave you. Okay. Then there's another type of person that divorce you where you could do all you're supposed to do in your marriage, and they're just not happy. They will create scenarios that don't exist, and then they'll embellish those, exaggerate those scenarios, so that way when they tell the story, they can scapegoat you out of this marriage. So everyone has a perception of you. Okay. And that's what you got. That's a known practice right there. It's like make the other person look bad and put it on them. That way, when I do divorce them, I'll look like the better person. Now, this other person may have a very good reputation with a lot of people that he or she may know. And what you're saying doesn't even make sense as to why you divorced the person, but you do it anyway, or you create things anyway to exaggerate and embellish it, so that way you can scapegoat the other person because you're too coward to just break up. Now, if you are married and you do decide to divorce, there should be a level of respect in your exit. The fact that your exit is disrespectful lets me further know how bad your marriage was, both of you. Okay. So Suzanne was doing her thing. Suzanne was doing her thing. And Barry was doing obviously his phone record shows that he was doing his thing too. Right? But let Barry tell it, the marriage was the best. They had the best weekend ever. But the evidence shows that your marriage was trash, my boy. It was trash. So you're trying to sell us on the idea that there's no way I could have did this. There's no motive for me to do it because our marriage was great. So now you embellish the state of the marriage instead of actually being honest about the state of the marriage, so that way all this can make sense. Now you tell the FBI agents one thing, but the proof and the evidence shows something totally different. Now you're inconsistent. If it wasn't for that prosecutorial misconduct on the first one, there's a possibility that he could have went to prison the first time for murder of the first degree. Because based on just phone records alone, it shows a level of inconsistency, and it shows a level of how unhappy Suzanne was. Right? It shows that. So this is what I'm saying. This when married people go through a divorce, let me tell you something. You as the person on the outside looking in, you ain't gonna never know what the real is. Marriages, that's a relationship where you on the outside looking in, you can have all of the assumptions you want. There are some details that you will never know. And that's why you just can't believe everybody when they say a married person. No, you can't just believe everything they say about their marriage. Oh no, my marriage was the best. It was the best. We had a wonderful weekend, sir. I know you lying. Yeah, I know you lying, dog. You lying, sir. So you can't believe for face value everyone's state of marriage, of their marriage. They will lie. They will try to make it look like it's great. You know how you can tell a marriage is great? All you got to do is look at the behavior of both parties in the presence of each other. And also look at it from the presence outside of each other. If there is a level of stability and confidence in a marriage, it will show in action through body language, through the way they look at each other, through their way of communicating. that effective communication. It'll be there. This communication was not effective. He was out of bounds, dog. Come on, man. Local snap sex.com. What is this? If you in a happy marriage, bro, what you looking at people in Salida for? You all in the kaleidoscope. Now you in the kaleidoscope looking. You in the kaleidoscope looking for them. You know what I'm saying? Hot young babes in the area. Like, what are you doing, man? Come on, Barry Manilow. What are you doing, dog? You cannot fake true happiness. Because it starts in individual, it starts in your individual self, and then you express or share that happiness in relationships. But if you are a miserable person, you're going to share your miserableness in a relationship. If you're a jealous person, you're going to share it. I need you to change because every time you do what you do, it makes me feel a certain way. No. No. Why do I have to walk on eggshells because you can't handle certain things? That's an individual battle, and your partner is not responsible for that. So whatever they were going through, she had already checked out, and so did he, but he want to act like it's on point. He want to act like it's on point. So let him tell it was the best thing. He's on the commercial trying to do a hotline. They're like, please come home. The girls need you. I need you. We miss you, babe. What? You know where she at, bro. Now, if he sat there and did that video, that commercial the whole time, knowing that he did it, that's a psychopath on so many levels right there. And again, the way you exit a divorce lets me know everything about you. If you get divorced and you just disrespect your ex-wife or ex-husband, it lets me know that you terrible too. Throwing somebody else under the bus shows me that you don't have good character. You was in it too. You was 100% in the marriage, and so was your wife or ex-husband was 100% in the marriage. So y'all have to share 100% of responsibility on your piece and his piece or her piece. That's how it rolls. And if you cannot bow out gracefully and happily and respectfully, be like, yo, man, we although we 12 years of marriage, man, but you know, it just, I know it's not working out, but I'm not going to give you a hard time. I'm going to cooperate with you. And hopefully you cooperate with me. We can come to an agreement. We could do this civilly, like Suzanne said. Civilly. And what happened? Barry like, wait a minute. We got way too much assets going on that I'm going to need. Because a divorce costs money. And what he got money. Starfish said, I'm going to stay single, rich, and out of jail. Appreciate you, Izzy. Izzy giving me the blessings. I appreciate it. I'm just talking real facts here, man. I'm just talking real facts. I just don't start believing a person like off rip. Because see, one thing about being divorced, and again, I know this from experience. One thing about being divorced, when you try to date again, it's like having a felony on your record. Everything you say is going to be trash. Even if it's especially if it's a guy, you automatically cheated, you automatically did her bowl, you automatically wrong. Let her tell it. He was a narcissist. This is all that happens every time. And it's like, no, it's more to it than that. It's way more to it than that. And you can tell who was at peace because when they split up, the person that has the peace, the person that has the respect, when they talk about their ex, they don't throw them under the bus and they don't say anything negative about them. Because when you're saying something negative about your ex, you're saying it about yourself. A relationship is a mirror. It's a reflection of you. And so if you they was just disrespectful. I'm pretty sure you had some disrespectful things to say too. Like, don't give me that it was just them. I'm over 40 years old, man. You go think you gonna play me with that? Stop it. Stop it. So why are we talking about this though? Let me get back to this. I'm sorry. Y'all know how I get on in my little rants and stuff. Yeah, Biz Nation know how I get on my little. Shout out to Biz Nation real quick for the one time. I appreciate you for the one time. Let's go. All right, look. So let's get back to it. We have all this here. Again, these are very important things in the evidence because it shows that this marriage was not what he claimed it to be. All right. Her Instagram account. I believe she had a photo. Look at her. She was out doing her thing. Look at Suzanne. Out doing her thing, man. Right? She was not I don't think she was trying to be difficult. I think that she moved on very fast and was like, you know what? I'm just done with this. It's been going on for years and years and years. I'm just gonna be out of here. And see, again, you're living in the house with the person that you don't want to be married to. And it's gonna be hard to leave like that. You gotta be able to sever the tie. If you're gonna sever the tie, you gotta be able to sever the tie. Now, watch this here. This is interesting here. On May 13, 2020, CCSO Deputy Caricato took photos of scratches on Barry's left arm. Now, you can't really see, but you can see some scratches here. This happened. This is a picture that was taken on May 13th. Interesting. He had scratches on his left arm. He had scratches on his left arm. Right here. Why, Barry? Now, this is 3 days after the unaliving and the murder of Suzanne Morphew, or that she was missing at the time. Let me say it correctly. She was considered incapacitated. However, it's 3 days after 3 to 4 days after she's reported missing from the neighbor. And then they take a picture on May 13th. The deputy takes a picture of his left arm, and what he sees scratches. He sees scratches. What are you doing, Barry? You haven't been very nice, brother. You haven't been very nice, dog. Now, there is a woman by the name of Morgan. We got to look into this interview real quick before we get into the body cam. I don't care. We rocking out tonight, y'all. We rocking out tonight. If y'all enjoying yourself, put a 1 in the chat. Morgan, I believe is Morgan Gentile. Yep. This was an interview that the agents were doing. Bureau of Investigation for Colorado was doing this. She said, "Isn't so cool?" She said, "I'll be here even if I fall asleep." That's the dedication I'm talking about, man. Biz Nation, stand up. Everybody put Biz Nation in the chat real quick, man. Hashtag Biz Nation, man. Let's go ahead and spam that. Now, check this out. Morgan Ann Gentile was one of the people that was being interviewed on May 14th, 2020. Now, May 13th, 2020, this is when there was a picture that was taken by the deputy that we just saw of Barry's arm being scratched. The next day, Colorado Bureau of Investigation, the CBI, Agents Kevin Kobach and Joseph Cahill conducted a consensual recorded interview with Morgan Angentile in Salida, Colorado. Morgan stated that around July 2019, she returned to Salida and started work with Dyson Structures Incorporated, DSI. She first met Barry through DSI, and they have worked together frequently. January 2020, Morgan was terminated from DSI over allegations she used illegal drugs, though she asserted she did not use drugs. After she was terminated, Barry hired her as a contractor for his company, Sunset Farms Landscaping. Barry frequently talks to Morgan about his two daughters, but he's never spoken of any marital or other family issues. Barry told Morgan about the Broomfield job sometime in mid-April. Morgan stated that job was supposed to take place between April 23rd, 2020 and April 30th, 2020. However, she was not sure of the exact date. Barry then changed the job to take place on or about the first week of May. Barry then rescheduled the job to begin May 11th, 2020. Morgan stated on May 8th, 2020, Barry picked her up from Anytime Fitness. Okay. 9985 Highway 50. That's where the fitness place was. All right. Poncha Springs, Colorado. They traveled to a job site at 6962 Country Road, 105 in Salida. They arrived at around 8 o'clock in the morning, completed a rock beach project, and left. So you picked her up from Anytime Fitness, traveled to a job site. You arrived there at 8 o'clock, completed a rock beach project, and left. 11 o'clock, Barry took her back to her vehicle by Anytime Fitness, paid her in cash for the job, and left. Morgan stated that Barry mentioned he was going to go hiking or biking. Uh-oh. You see why we had to read this? Oh, really, sir? With who? Who you going biking and hiking with? You talking about that woman that got a whole man in a whole different state? Talking about their wife, Nick? All right, look. Barry was supposed to pick Morgan up at around 5:30 p.m. on Sunday. 5:30 on Sunday, May 10th, 2020, to drive to a hotel in Broomfield, Colorado. Cassidy Cordova was supposed to drive up separately and meet them on Monday, May 11th, 2020. Hold on. Stop the presses. Stop the press. If y'all ever seen Martin, stop the press. This has got to be jelly because jam don't shake like that. Check this out. Barry was supposed to pick up Morgan on Mother's Day at 5:30 p.m. is where he was supposed to pick her. He was supposed to pick her up on Mother's Day at 5:30 p.m. And then somebody else named Cassidy Cordova is supposed to come there separately the next day. Okay. Morgan stated that around 4 a.m. on May 10th, 2020, she was confident she heard Barry's Ford F-350 drive eastbound past her house on Highway 50. Morgan stated she did not see the truck, but that his truck has a very distinctive exhaust. Okay. At about 11:18 a.m. on Mother's Day of 2020, Barry called Morgan and explained she needed to bring an additional person because of the amount of work needed to repair the wall. She agreed she would bring another contractor, Jeff Puckett. Barry never provided an explanation why he left early or why he did not pick her up. Morgan stated she later picked up Jeff and drove towards Broomfield. At 6:09 p.m., Barry called and said he had a family emergency and had to return to Salida. Barry had left tools at the hotel and said he would call her the next day. The next day occurs, May 11, 2020 at 7 a.m. Barry called Morgan and said that Suzanne was missing, and he thought a mountain lion may have attacked her. Morgan explained that Barry was initially crying, but then abruptly shifted to the specifics about the job, the Broomfield job. Morgan adamantly denied there was ever any type of sexual relationship between her and Barry. That is so, it is, KP. It's the most random thing ever. May 15th, another interview with Morgan. Now, this is in the affidavit. So when you, those of you that have access to the folder that I put pinned to the chat, this is in the affidavit. So if you want to take a look at this, you can. Okay. You can. I tried to make sure of that. All right. For those of you that are on X, please go ahead and subscribe to YouTube, to my channel, Tay-Biz TV on YouTube. Appreciate it. Everybody put X in the chat and show love to the X family. All right. That rock with your boy Tay-Biz TV. Appreciate you so much. All right. On May 15th, 2020, CBI agents Cahill and Kobach contacted Morgan at her residence in Salida. Morgan spoke about conversations that George Davis had with her, in which George might be attempting to influence her future testimony. Okay. Morgan stated that she had recalled some additional detail about the hotel in Broomfield. Morgan explained after she and Jeff Puckett checked in, they went to their rooms. Jeff went to room 225. The one originally rented and used by Barry, she went to room 228. Okay. Morgan explained that Jeff could not figure out how to open the hotel room doors, so she opened it. Morgan explained when she opened the door, she immediately smelled the strong odor of chlorine. This is the reason why I wanted to bring out this interview. She's using the room originally rented by Barry. She goes into the room. She smells chlorine. Morgan stated this was not the ordinary house cleaning odor. It was more consistent with what you smell with a pool. Morgan stated she observed several damp and used towels on the floor. Morgan stated that Jeff found an insurance document under the pillow. The document was thrown in the trash. She could not recall what was on the document. Morgan stated that Jeff found an insurance document under the pillow. The document was thrown in the trash. She can't recall what was on the document. Okay. When questioned about the job sites on Saturday, May 9th, 2020, Morgan stated she recalled an odd comment made by Barry. Morgan explained after they completed the beach at the river house, she rode with Barry to the next site. Barry stated she commented pigs could eat an entire human body in 2 hours. Barry commented that he would be able to, quote unquote, bury a body and it would never be found. Now, this is whatever type of horseplay this is, it ain't that cool. All right. It ain't that good. It ain't good. It ain't cool. We spoke with Morgan about Barry's financial activities. Morgan stated Barry contacted his stock trader, Dan. Morgan stated he spoke to Dan on a daily basis. And this is the timeline here. Morgan timeline to CCSO, July 29th. July 29th, 2020, Morgan Gentile provided a handwritten timeline to CCSO Sheriff John Spezzi. The following lines were noted by Special Agent Grusin for the affidavit. For Sunday, May 10th, Morgan wrote that she heard Barry's truck at 5 a.m. She added, 11:15, Barry called. He was out of breath, panting, but fatigued. Kind of like hungover, but he doesn't drink. Honestly, when I hung up, I thought to myself, he sounded like he had the worst night of his life. I wonder why you were out of breath. Morgan provided more details about her trip to the Broomfield Hotel. To include her route on May 10th, she wrote, arrived at hotel 10 to 10:30, grabbed Barry's tools, went to check in. Morgan wrote that she and Puckett checked in rooms 228, 225. Morgan walked in 225. The smell of chlorine was so strong, made my eyes water. I noticed wet towels on the ground in the bathroom, and Barry made the bed. For Monday, May 11th, Morgan wrote that they drove to the job site from the hotel. She indicated it looked like Barry had removed top caps. That was it. We also did not have the tools we need, like a packer or gravel. Okay. So this also coincides with what the other gentleman said. The other employee said that he never even had the right tools to begin with in the first place. All right. So that interview was, I found it to be very interesting because, and again, this is all in the affidavit. It's very interesting because she is able to pinpoint the fact that there is a residue of a smell in his room. And that smell was like chlorine. This is a diabolical case, man. It is lit with so many different randoms in here. That is crazy. Now we're going to look at, before we go close out for the night, we're going to look at the body cam footage of Barry Morphew arriving at the place where they found the bike. And we're going to get a chance to hear what he was saying as well. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at this real quick.
Pictures, the Morphews looked like the perfect family. When police talked to Barry, he said that his marriage was, quote, the best, and that he and Suzanne had a wonderful weekend together. But investigators would soon learn that was not the case. Here's body cam video from the day that Suzanne went missing of a deputy speaking with neighbors who reported her missing.
Did Barry and Suzanne get along pretty well?
You can answer honestly.
You know,
I think they've had some problems.
Okay.
Yeah, in the past.
Like just normal
husband and wife type deal.
Did they like talk about separating or anything?
They
like
have,
that?
yeah.
Okay.
I would, yeah.
And you know this through
Macy. Yeah, I'm very close with her.
Yeah,
it's
important that you.
I know. Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, and he is in Denver for a work job. He's a landscaper, and he's got a big job in Denver. So that's where he is at.
And here's body cam video of Barry arriving on scene later that night on May 10th.
Where is it? Where's the bike? Oh, it's right there. Where was it? It was like just right down here in this little embankment. Right here. So, I check this, dude. I got the husband on the scene here with me.
I'm here with my daughter. She's at Barry's house.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you can go down there.
Is it a crash?
I mean, the bike looked, the way it was laying, it kind of looked like it, but there's not really that much damage to the bike. That's the thing.
Lion?
Yeah, it was just like
Was there no lion?
Yeah. I didn't see anything that would.
I didn't see anything, and they're not letting us go over the site
because we're getting a track.
Bringing dogs.
Just right down in here, yeah.
Do you know where my husband and son are?
They probably went down to Puma.
Yeah,
down to the house. They're at my house.
Okay.
And Bear, just I know it's tough right now. Do you mind if I just get a driver's license for our report stuff? Search and rescue's on their way. Hey Barry, and then I'll probably need your help to kind of tell me some of the trails that she frequents, so we can backtrack some of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm sorry.
Oh man. And she's an avid mountain biker, right?
She's just started. She's been here.
And just for confirmation, you left this morning at 5. Okay. And she told you she was going to go bike riding?
She bikes every day, yeah.
Okay.
She's going to bike when she gets up.
So she was asleep in the bed when you left. Did you say bye to her or anything?
No, she's sound asleep.
Okay.
Always asleep.
People, this is Mother's Day. This is Mother's Day. He didn't say, dude. The officer asked, "Did you even say bye to her or whatever?" He's like, "No, I didn't. Nah. What? What? This is Mother's Day. This is the biggest celebration of days in America. Christmas is 1. Mother's Day is automatically a solid 2. Maybe 4th of July is, and if you're going to go top 3, you're going to go probably Christmas, Mother's Day. You didn't say bye. You didn't say anything on Mother's Day, man. Mother's Day morning. Come on, man. And the mind of the officer, if he is the type of officer that really unpacks and read in between lines, I would find it very suspicious and hard to believe that you even try to do anything work related on Mother's Day without it being some type of issue in your marriage, bro. Your wife is bike riding on Mother's Day. It don't even make sense. You should be with your wife. KP said Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, then Mother's Day. I did a study working as GM. Okay, cool. Of a car wash. So Mother's Day is in the top 5. I appreciate that. Shout out to KP for the fact check. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, then Mother's Day. So it's in the top 5. Okay, so come on, man. So this right here doesn't even make sense off the top. Off the rip. You arrive and you're not even making sense at all.
She's gonna go bike riding?
She bikes every day, yeah.
Okay.
She's gonna bike when she gets up.
So she was asleep in the bed when you left. Did you say bye to her or anything?
No, she's sound asleep.
Okay.
Always asleep.
So the last time you probably actually saw her was this morning. That was it, right?
Yeah, I've been in there, so I got big.
Starfish said she ain't his mama. Facts, but that's his wife, and she is the mother of his kids. That right there, for me, like that's what husbands do. They celebrate their wives, man, because their wives are also the mother of their children. So it's just odd to me. And you got one that's still in the house, according to what we read in the affidavit. I mean, the indictment. Like, even though they're grown, they still active. They still taking up your space. You know what I'm saying? But no, that's just me thinking. That's all.
No, it's all good, man. We're doing the best. We got a lot of people coming. Yeah, they've got.
Look through the house.
Yeah, they got the house. So what we're doing is we're keeping people out of the house because if the dog comes, they want to get a scent from out of the house.
Yeah.
So they don't want to pollute that scent. So that way we can start trying. And I walked up this. Like I said, I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. Nothing looked like.
I wonder if she was hurt. Did she could climb up the hill?
But that's the thing. When we came here, still was daylight, right? So if she was right here, somebody would have easily, you know what I mean? Just because it was like literally like right down. It was this. I mean, if we saw it coming in, somebody would have definitely seen it too, you know?
Okay, there's the bike.
No. Hey, how's it going, man?
Do you want us to stage now at that residence or?
So hold on, let me get this in and I'll get right with you.
Okay, no worries.
Hey, Barry. Besides, I know the bike was here, but what are some of the paths or like the trails like?
She rides this road. She rides up to the top, and then she goes up to Flus's. And if there's no snow, she'll go up high on Flus's. She went down this one a couple of times.
Down this one here too?
Yeah.
Okay. So double check Flus's over there too, because I think was it Miles? I think Miles. Yeah, I know. We just want to double check everything. So yeah.
Did anybody look for foot tracks on the road?
I haven't seen anything really, but
like people tracks. We're lying.
I didn't really notice, but I won't lie. I'm not like an expert tracker or something, you know. Yeah. So my partner is actually the one that saw and picked it up, but it was like the top of. It was weird because it feels like the top of the bike was like up this way.
So maybe flipped.
Maybe, I don't know, man.
But the problem is,
Go ahead.
what's the thing about 4 o'clock in the morning? Was activity on the phone?
5. Oh yeah, so we pinged the phone and it said the last activity was at 4 in the morning.
Up here?
It's off of the Ponzi Tower. So there's not any specific coordinate. Hey, could you not touch the bike with your hands, please?
Hey guys.
Why are you over there anyway?
Because I've been wearing gloves. I've been trying not to. So.
Put it in your. Can you fit it in your car?
No, but I could try to. My car is with the back is filled with tag here and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, and the bike was found right there. See that little pink thing right in there. And you could see it on our initial body camera too when we found it right over there, right there by like a tree. So I really seem to like distraught that he's kind of going back and like, why didn't they check the recruit? I'm like, we're trying to do the best guy. And this guy, I guess his name's George Davis. He showed up on his own. I guess Barry. Hey Barry, are you guys? Are you where are you guys headed? Okay. Here soon. I'm gonna probably have you come and talk with us more. All right. Thanks, man.
So now they're about to go in the house.
Let's just go directly to where something that she's born today, and let's not touch anything just for in case.
Okay. Is this unlocked?
Yes. Which way would that be? This way?
What's the vibe that you all getting so far with this? Again, this is the day of. This is the day of. So what is your vibe so far? It seems like when he was outside when he first arrived, it seems like he was a little bit distraught. He tried to have a little crack in his voice, and everything started slowing down after that. He was touching the bike. He's just being on some other stuff with that because the bike is evidence, sir. But what vibes are you getting so far?
Are you touching anything down there?
These are all heard right here?
Yeah.
Have you got a plastic bag?
Yeah.
Or a paper bag?
It says sports mask again. I mean, it's direct contact with the skin. No, we should just be fine with one.
Now remember, they don't have a body
Can you
yet.
turn on the exterior lights? Which light switch is it? All of them, Dale?
Yes, do you want me here?
I mean, the outside spread is crazy. Huh?
Thank you. Hey, Anthony. Can I speak to you over there once we get back? Yeah. Your blood right there. So you realize what you grabbed, right? Those shorts. Yeah. Those are...
He said, "Do you realize what you grabbed?" Okay, this is this is where they start talking amongst themselves. Starfish and Coffee says, "Why did everyone else report her missing and not him?" Yeah, so he's allegedly on a job site, early and all this other kind of stuff. It's just, it's so backwards. And then again, seeing the actual voice, the actual phone records showing how many times he contacted her and she did not contact him. Now that we have a body and now that we have some evidence here, this is a brand new case. This is a brand new case. He's in a rude awakening, man. Again, now we'll talk about particulars a little bit in a second, but this is very interesting. This is at the time frame where the body is just missing. The body is just missing, right? So anything could be said, anything could be. You don't have any evidence yet, no physical material evidence yet, no hard evidence, but now they do.
Your blood right there. So you realize what you grabbed, right? Those shorts. Yeah, those are for mountain biking. Yeah, like the padded shorts you were wearing. Yeah, yeah. So that I'm curious.
Yeah, I saw that. They were bike shorts.
Yeah.
And so I grabbed them. If you like anything for the house ready, what I mean? Yeah, I know it's good with that.
I hate that I can't make out what they really
Morphew
said.
being told not to touch Suzanne's bike. That's obviously a key piece of evidence. The new indictment reads that Suzanne was having a secret affair with an old acquaintance who lived away from Colorado. Investigators found on Barry's phone that he had deleted a text chain with his wife that included a screenshot that read a text message from Suzanne that said, quote, "I'm done. I could care less what you're up to and have been for years. We just need to figure this out civilly." Investigators also found inconsistencies in Barry's account of his work trip to the Denver metro area. His employee said that they were planning to leave on that trip together on the evening of May 10th, not before 5 o'clock in the morning like Barry did. The employee also said that the two of them were planning to drive up together.
That's the first
but
mugshot.
Barry just left on his own. Barry also, the employee said, didn't bring the tools that were needed for the job. When investigators looked at cameras at the hotel as well as businesses, they saw that Barry spent less than a half hour at his job site the entire time he was in the Denver area. Instead, he made trips, dropping off items in trash cans. When the police called about Suzanne being missing, Barry said that he was at the job site, and that just wasn't true. That's just the start of the evidence that prosecutors and investigators in 2020 and 2021 said they found to tie Barry to the alleged murder of his wife.
So we're not going to get too deep into the actual rest of that, but because we already covered a lot of this. But this is where we are. This is where we are. We are at the place right now where he has been extradited. He is now in Colorado in jail. And there will be a trial. He's pleading not guilty. He is holding fast to that not guilty claim. This gentleman here, again, all the things that we have discussed today, it doesn't look good for this gentleman. It doesn't look good at all. Your alibi doesn't measure up to the actual data that they discovered from your phone records. That's telematics and your actual infotainment telematics and also your actual phone records. It don't even line up. You the only guy, you the only cat in the whole county that got bam, bro. You the only you the only N-word that got bam, bro. Like the Wildlife Society is the only ones that really monitor bam, bro. And you one of the ones in this particular area that got bam. You the only prescriber of bam. You got the needles in the gun safe. Bruh, they found needles in the gun safe. They found bam in her bone marrow. She decomposed in one location and then got dropped off at the different location where she was found 3 years later in an unrelated search. You liquidated all of her assets. You sold the house. You sold the houses. 1.6 million over here. You got $750,000 over here. You paid out somebody with $30,000 over here. Boom, boom, boom. You living in Arizona. Like everything points to you. You turned off your phone. Your phone was in airplane mode too many times. You messed up that way. You did a whole poor little tink job of this crime. Needle caps in his drawers. Like everywhere in the garage. They found a whole bunch of stuff there. You're moving shady. Or the way you moving ain't making sense because you supposed to go to a certain job in the evening. Instead, you go super early and don't tell nobody. Then you're found moving trash cans or emptying out trash in different places and areas. Hold on, let me see if I can get the photos. Hold on, let me see if I get the photos real quick. Because this guy here, you change clothes. Here it is. Here it is. Look at this. Look at this. Look, we see you, dog. I see you, see me, see you, man. I see you, see me, see you, dog. Look at you. Look at you. What is you doing? Where are you going, Barry? This is the worst episode of Perry. Perry Mason would have had a layup with this case, okay? Then your girl Morgan ratted you out in the interview. Come on, y'all. Come on, give me some more. Even Ken PD did a better job messing with the story. I mean, come on now. I mean, they made it look like it was almost a tale like that hit John O'Keefe. Dude, look at you. You're carrying binders with paperwork. Look at you, dog. Cuz, what you doing, bro? Look, at 8:46 a.m., Barry walked into the hotel carrying 2 white trash bags, a khaki backpack, a pair of boots, a dark colored item, and a piece of clothing with blue teal coloring. you look like you're going to dispose of a body instead of actually building something, Barry. I'm trying to figure out, and listen, we are going to deep dive into this case. This is our case. Biz Nation, this is our case. This is for us. This is what we needed. Okay. We needed this because, first of all, we want justice for Suzanne Morphew. The way this played out, no one deserves this type of exit of a relationship. No, I don't care what a person is doing. You ain't got to go through these lengths to do this at all. Now, he did have an interview with ABC News, I believe, in 2022, 23, before they discovered the body. With his daughters were sitting side by side, and they both said, you know what? I never thought my dad, not for 1 second did I think my dad did this. Not 1 second. I wonder if the daughters knew her mama was cheating on them too. I just wonder. You know, my mind sometimes goes into places where most people be like, why? You know, but I'm just thinking, is it possible that he could have had some help from somebody to get this done? To be his backup to whatever it is that he cooking that don't make sense? I'm just curious. I'm just curious. I'm just trying to figure out if it's possible for this stupid gentleman to at least involve one of his daughters that probably got pissed off when she found out that her mama is sleeping with another dude. Because see, let me tell you something. That presumed innocent movie that Izzy just blessed us with the remembrance of, it was the daughter that did the crime based upon an emotion. And all I'm saying is it possible? Is it possible? I would love to see the phone records of the daughters between the dad around the same time. I'm just saying, I would be 100% in. I would be 100% in to see it, because I'm telling you right now, even though this man is very stupid, very, very stupid, I think that his daughters or one of the daughters have a level of the same. It's possible. It's possible. Anything is, again, the man is, I know we saw a lot of evidence, but the man is still innocent till proven guilty. The burden of proof is still on the Commonwealth. I don't care if the man smelled like chum. That don't mean he went to swim with the sharks. All right. I do need to see, we need to see receipts from the daughters. Because when a person that's stupid try to lie, they need to involve other people in the lie. They got to lie to them so that lie can spread out and act like it's true. Like, you're a trustworthy person, but I lie to you and then you spread my lie. That makes you look trustworthy because people know you to be a trustworthy person. So because of that, I'm going to probably utilize this trustworthiness or the innocence of a daughter to be my alibi as well, when my daughter knew. And even though all the evidence point to the road of Morphew Boulevard, Barry Morphew Boulevard is where all the evidence point. He's so ridiculous. I wouldn't put it past him that he would throw one of his daughters under the bus to get her involved in his craziness. He may not have said it directly like, yo, I'm about to kill your mama. He ain't saying it like that. But what I'm saying is, unbeknownst to one of them cuckoo clocks, unbeknownst to them, he probably involved them with something. I need to see evidence of the girl's phone. I need to see their phone records. I need to see what they was texting dad. I need to see this because kids is nosy. And when parents are going through a bad situation, somebody gonna take sides. Now, this is a harsh reality that we need to talk about, but they will take sides. Okay. And I'm just curious. I'm so curious. I'm curious to see their phone records, their conversations with the dad, and how they interpret what's going on. They're old enough to understand. They ain't stupid and blind. I mean, they might be the first part, but they ain't blind. They know what's going on. They know mama leaving out of town. You going to Florida to do what? With who? And when? And then on top of it, they got the money aspect. Tracy Toss just rocked out. You got the money aspect on top of it, too. To be like, you think you're going to divorce me and leave me, and I built this landscaping company from the ground up that you're benefiting from? I take you out of here before I let you ruin my life, my business, my millions. This is what I worked hard for. See? You see how this can go? You see how this can go? I take you out of here before I let you take all of what I built. You ain't gonna divorce me. I'm telling you, y'all. I'm telling you. I wouldn't be surprised if he was to generate the favor from his daughters prior to doing this. Like, getting the daughters on his side had to be done because they knew that the parents were splitting up, talking about it, breaking up, or whatever. And the daughter like, I've been trying to call my mom all day and I haven't got a chance to talk to her. Let me go to the next door neighbor and see if they've been able to contact my mom. Not my dad. I didn't call my dad first. I didn't call my dad first and say, hey, have you heard from mom? I went to a next door neighbor. I went to a next door neighbor, and the neighbor like, we haven't talked to her since yesterday. It's been a whole 24 hours. She's missing. She's missing. She's missing. So I'm telling you, y'all, this right here is going to be a very, very interesting case. I mean, this is real life. I know we look at these things and we try to figure things out. This is real life. This is a real situation. And I can't understand for the life of me why and how, especially in these times, everything is recorded. Every street light you go to in your city, it's a camera on top of that boy. And this idiot tried to manipulate everything possible. You went to a hotel, sir, where they have cameras everywhere. And come to find out, your goofy behind was taking out trash randomly. Doing what? And then on top of that, they tell us that they found her body. her remains, her bones, and all that kind of stuff. But did they find a full skeletal structure? I would like to know that. I would like to know, did they find a full skeletal structure? Because you're throwing out bags of things, and those bags were not huge, large bags. They were nice hand-sized bags, but you're trashing them out separately in different areas. What was left of her skeletal structure? And then again, she's decomposing, and then she's located differently. She's decomposing. Then that means you consciously made a decision to go back to get the body and put it somewhere else. That's like 40-something miles out. Come on, man. This right here is crazy. And we got the best marriage. Baloney, man. I call cap on the marriage. I call cap on this guy right now. I don't see, and based upon we today, Biz Nation, we have looked at evidence today. Okay. There is physical evidence of chemicals that is related to wildlife sedation that was inside a human woman's body skeletal structure in her bone marrow that immobilizes you minutes after you are injected with it, where you cannot move at all. This is something here, man. This is ridiculous. This is crazy work. And in the courtroom of Colorado, when he walked into the courtroom, I believe yesterday, he was seen smiling when he walked in because I believe his daughters were there to support him. Look, man, either he got like a Brian Steele level type of lawyer, or a Bob Alessi level lawyer, or Alan Jackson level lawyer, or even a Max Shard level lawyer. He got to have something going on, because I'm telling you, I don't see in any of this evidence where count 1 of murder of the first degree would be denied by a jury. Looking at this evidence, I don't see, and I know we're deep diving into this now because the trial is going to come up at some point. Trust me, I wouldn't put it past like September. Like I'm pretty sure it'll be like sometime around that time, and it's going to be more stuff developing as it's going. So we are fresh in this thing. All right, we here now. We ain't going nowhere. Business Nation, we ain't going nowhere. I'm trying to figure out what defense you can create to go against this level of evidence. How do you explain Bam in her system and he's the only one that has it? How do you explain the airplane mode situation? Why the motive for it? What for? Why? The gun safe had the needles and needle caps in the drawer. Your weird travel arrangement all of a sudden at the last minute. Like, how do you explain all of this? How do you explain the infotainment data saying one thing and your phone data saying something else? How? You gotta, there must be a star key back pocket trinket you got or something. Otherwise, you the biggest fool ever. Because I don't see any way that he's going to get up out of this. I don't see it. I do not see it. That's my take on this. He's still innocent till proven guilty by law. I understand that. I do. I'm saying even in his innocence till proven guilty, I still don't see what the defense is going to be. It's only one count of premeditated murder. Only one count. And that's a life sentence for sure. So I just don't see it. I don't understand how that's going to play out. But we shall see. We shall see what happens. All right. Shout out again to Biz Nation, man. Rocking. I appreciate Izzy being in the chat. I appreciate Tracy Talks. My boy KP always showing love. Chill, of course, the mod of all mods. We made KP and we made Tracy Talks mods today. So I appreciate y'all coming through, and I saw that doing all the things, man, that I need help with. So I appreciate it so much. Shout out to Starfish as always supporting the channel, always showing love and coming through. All the people that's on X. If you're on X right now, come on over to YouTube and subscribe to Tay-Biz TV. Yo, I don't have nothing else for you tonight. Thank you all so much for watching the show. I appreciate it. We will be keeping in touch with this case. This case is very, 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 very interesting. And again, he's pleading not guilty. There will be a trial. There will be a trial. And so we're going to see what happens. All right. Once again, if you are in the chat, if you want to look at more documentation about what's going on with the Barry Morphew case, if you come on YouTube and I pinned it to the chat, you will see a link that gives you the all the information that I have so far, because I'm going to be adding more to these folders. The information that I have so far, I placed it in the Barry Morphew case folder, and you have access to it. So I'm sharing the link here on the channel so that way you can read the affidavit on your own time. You can read the full indictment again if you want to. You can read the booking sheet. You can read the motions that was filed as well in the last few days for media coverage and things of that nature as well. So thank you all so much again for rocking out with your boy, man. KP said, hold on, what did KP say? Tay-Biz, I may try to get a channel going soon. Hey, man, let me know, man. I would love to support, man. I would love to support, man. I would love to reciprocate the support and the love that you show on this channel, bro. So keep me in touch with that, man. Yo, if you all have any type of video you want me to react to, or you have any type of situations that you want me to talk about, or any new cases, man, content suggestions, yo, hit your boy up at taybiztv@gmail.com. That is the channel's email account, taybiztv@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you all. And if you just want to just send me a message just to say, man, keep it going, keep it pushing, get your boy some encouragement, hey, email me again with that too as well. Yo, this your boy Tay-Biz TV. We are out. All right. Hope everybody have a good night. Peace.
I brought that with me. Case they get too easy. Baby, don't stress, don't sweat it. Put it all on my daddy. Know how I'm coming, and they know what we had. Around through that left side, low end. All of mine need more wins. If you got beef, don't come out. My young hitter might go in. Uptown GN, working all through my weekend. Hoping these don't show out, cause all of my hitters too deep in. With the boy, I'm so ashamed. Ain't worried about long as my money and my green. Baby, I ain't got work tomorrow. Tell me what the business is. Ain't about no club hop. I'm trying to start some businesses. Shorty, you thought it was, they better know it's not that. Talking all that online, they knowing that it's not fake. Sliding through my hood, I make maneuvers like a Uber, baby. Got a 10-year plan, these can't tell what they doing lately. And I'm way too clean, I'm Listerine, I thought they been knew it. All in my lungs, I got my red cup full of that Henny fluid. Young middle Mad Mac, I'm swinging that leg, I'm banging that do or die. And I ain't that bleedly before I get crucified. Living in my bloodline, this place in my family tree. How the they pressed, I did my best out of what they handed me. Straight out of that country, know my shawty dick as human air. And I need not mention no extensions, that's human hair. Boy, we grew in there. Around through that left side, low end.